Welcome to the intro section. First, a few announcements. Number one, I'd like to let you know that I'm going to be improving this YouTube channel. That means more content, deep dives, lifting videos, all that jazz, as well as for the podcast that we do have and future podcasts. I'm going to be trying to add timestamps so you guys can skip through to what you want to hear, if it's a Q&A or something like that. Also, if you want to hear a specific guest, I'm going to make sure that all of the guests have their names in the title. I've been really bad about that, but as with everything, every new adventure in life, there comes learning curves. Currently, I'm the editor of these videos, which probably is why the quality is not so great. I am the description writer. I don't know what that would be considered, but basically I run the YouTube channel. As well as talk to you guys over on the Facebook group, and talk to you guys over on Facebook, and talk to you guys over on Anabolic Minds, and try and interact with some of you on Instagram and all that jazz. So I'm kind of all over the place, and this has kind of been a big learning curve for me. So big changes are coming. Just be patient with us. Also, with these podcasts, something that I really wanted to improve with these Hatecast is the flow of the show. We seem to be all over the place. We seem to dance around topics and not really follow through. So, and I mean, we do follow through on some things, but we kind of say we'll talk about something and then we never get to it in the episode. I'm going to try and make them more neat, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to do a lot more prep work on my end. I also want to bring you guys more badass guests. I also want to do a bunch of different things. Mainly, one of the things I'd like to do right now is thank everybody who's following along on this, right? We started a podcast from having 0 listeners to all the way up to now we have almost 2,000 subscribers. And we do hear you guys. We hear what you want on the Facebook. We hear what you want on the YouTube channel and stuff like that. We do understand you want more. It's just, what more content? If you have any ideas of what you would like to see, you personally, yes, you, the person on the other end of this thing, is listening, who probably doesn't give a shit, but hey, help us out. Go ahead and leave that in the comment section below so that we can provide you guys with more entertaining content, provide you guys with a much better experience on the YouTube channel. But I think I've kind of went over that. What I will cover now is the sales. This is the part of the video where people usually skip, haha, but I thought you guys should know about Predator, both Predator and Carnage, which Predator is our glucose disposal agent. It's on BOGO. Buy one Predator, get another one absolutely free, and I'm actually running a little bit low. Carnage, which is our stem-free powdered fat burner. It is also on the website, on sale, buy one, get one, from, I believe, this weekend, and then it extends on to Monday until midnight. So you guys have a chance to watch this video and then go, oh, yeah, I'm going to just leave him a like. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe. And then I'm going to go over to chaosandpain.com. And while I'm there, I'm going to check out the BOGO. I'm going to check out the newsletter that I should be subscribed to so I can hear about this stuff, not from this guy, but from an email. And yeah, you're just going to be super awesome like that, because I know you will. But those are what we have on deck for you guys regarding sales this time. I can't speak right now for some reason. Anyway, so Predator and Carnage are both BOGO, which can come in handy on these holiday seasons. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 million, depending on where you're from, holidays coming up. So now's a good time to stock up. We also put a 25% off code that you can stack with that. I don't know if I mentioned that before. That will be linked. All the information will be linked in the description box below this video, as well as something I kind of wanted to say to our UK audience. We understand to save on shipping. It's more it's more of an advantage for you guys to order 2 items at once, which is why we kind of put 2 items on sale this time on BOGO, specifically to celebrate our UK audience. But I think we'll get right into what the video is about. So this time on the Hatecast, I am joined again by Ed. Ed, of course, this jacked guy who's been in the fitness industry for so long, doesn't train abs. Him and I disagree on that still to this day. And no, I haven't seen Big Trouble in Little China yet. Working on it. I will, but it's a running joke now. So, in this episode, we are doing, of course, a casual Sunday, if you couldn't tell by the title. The things we do talk about in this, we want to hear back from you. Like, are you okay if we talk about, like, current events and what's going on around the world? Because that's something we kind of want to bring to you guys. Because if it was just a supplement podcast, I think that would kind of get boring. Lifting is great, lifting is fun, lifting is fine, but if we want to just throw on a casual Sunday, would you guys be okay with that? I know you guys loved it when Jamie and I did it. The episodes with Ed and I, both rambling about current events, casual Sunday, have been doing spectacular. So, but I haven't really heard too much feedback on what your personal favorite episodes were. So if you have any content that you particularly liked, please comment in the comment section below. And I know this intro section's been kind of long, but I'm long-winded, so enjoy the show. Welcome to another Hatecast, and this time I am joined again by Ed. Now, he is eating, so forgive him. Actually, don't. But let's go ahead and go over what we were just going over. So, you had a theory.
Yes. I have a theory about all these bombs that are being intercepted to prominent leftist or blue people, we should say. You know. Now, first, let me just clarify. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just an independent. That's my voter registration card says independent. Okay? None of this. What I have noticed, though, is that it appears to me that the left is losing their minds. I firmly believe that these bombs that are being intercepted are being done so internally because it just happens, 2 weeks before the election, bombs start appearing. Oh, well, where were they the other, 48 weeks of the year? And by the way, that's 52 because, 4 weeks, and then you had to,
Yeah.
So, where were they then? Well, I don't know. And so now it's kind of like they're afraid that they're going to lose because with the whole Kavanaugh thing, whatever, which just totally backfired. Now, here's the thing.
Now, see, we can talk a little bit about that. And by the way, guys, just so you are aware, these opinions and viewpoints do not represent the viewpoints and opinions of Chaos and Pain LLC.
No, they
There's
don't.
my little legal disclaimer. This is two individuals who may or may not sound like idiots to you and who may or may not offend you. So please sit your butt down. It's okay. We look forward to your letters. So, yeah, the Kavanaugh thing. So, like, she knew, or the people who handle that stuff knew about it before the Supreme Court hearing, or for his thing. Like, I'm
months. Months before.
And they just decided to bring it up now.
Well, and then what's her name? Nancy Pelosi, whatever chick that's really scary. She even talked about that strategy
right
beforehand, and then they go ahead and they do it. Like I said, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm sitting back here, and I'm looking at what these liberals are doing, and it's just like, wow, I can't believe, so emotionally driven, man. Like, wow, knee-jerk reactions, and honestly, yeah, the news is definitely fake news because if you look at all of the broadcasters and stuff, I mean, dude, they are so pro-Democrat, like anti-Trump 100%. Like, whatever happened to getting behind the president that got voted in there and being unified? Like, here's the best part. They want America divided so they can win more.
You know, one thing I will say about the
Oh,
election and President Trump being president currently is the fact that um, I think that when we look back, I think this is kind of a turning point in our history. I think that when we look back, this will be either the thing that divides us or unites us.
yep.
I think that whether or not you like the guy or not, I do feel like the unity between people is stronger than ever. I also feel like he should sometimes put down Twitter, but I
Hmm.
mean, somebody take his phone away, right?
Just take it away.
But as for believing survivors of rape incidents or something like that, everybody that's not here for debate. I believe that we should stand behind people who speak up and are part of the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
However, I do not believe that it's an issue for political gain that should be
And dude, and
down.
that's what they're doing. They're using it for political gain instead of trying to actually make a difference. And that's what I have the problem with, you know?
Yeah.
And then here's the worst part about it is they have all, the witness comes forward, and then you have people that she named as her best friends being there basically saying that they felt like they were thrown under the bus and that didn't happen. So now all of a sudden it's like, I mean, but yet, oh, he's a bad guy. And then because they realized that it wasn't going to work, then they start to attack that, oh, he showed that he wasn't, emotionally sound by the way that he sound. You just attacked his family, man.
Right.
Like, but yet, so let me get this straight. He can't act emotionally, but the Democrats can.
To be fair, one of the people that people take the most relationship advice from is Steve Harvey, which literally married his side chick. Um, so
Oh,
let's just put it this way. We are of course talking over the points that we believe to be true. We're talking over the points that we believe to be uh, something to be thought about. Trying to shine some light in this dark time, or this light time, or whatever. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to ask is, let us know what you think about all of that in the comment section below, because we're interested to kind of have a conversation with you guys.
hey,
Um,
dude,
which
one
I'd
thing.
like the
So
podcast to become more kind of like that.
I
So,
like it. So then I got another question for you.
yeah, what's up?
What about Roseanne Barr, man? She got screwed. She didn't do anything but say that she supported Trump, and they kicked her off the network.
Nah, nah. She had a tweet that she made under
No.
the influence of Ambien. Um,
Tell me, I don't know. What did it say?
not gonna paraphrase it, so let's look it up. Give me 1 second.
Well, while you're looking it up, so I think that these bomb packages going to prominent liberals and Democrats are actually an inside job to sway American people to vote blue in the election in 2 weeks. Because then they're like, what was going on is they're trying to disprove or say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we have people that are on our side that are extremists. And they are. I mean, you can look what's going on. Look at all of the videos you see of people beating up Trump supporters. I don't see Trump supporters beating up Democrats, just saying. And so then they try to say, well, now we can prove that there's extreme faction on the right that's sending us these bombs. How much you want to bet that's going to be their play? I'm calling it right now. It's hilarious. It's just it's so transparent that it's mind-boggling that you can't see this. And plus, another problem I have with the Democrats is the socialism ideas that they're promoting, which socialism does not work. they always point to like Sweden. Dude, there's like 150,000 people that live in Sweden, not 350 million. You can't compare the two. It's apples and oranges. It doesn't work. So they keep throwing that on there, and it's like, are you kidding me?
So the Roseanne Barr tweet was, and I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want it to be taken out of context for me.
Yeah, I know.
But it all started with a look. It all started on May 29th when Barr posted the following tweet. I'll let you guys go ahead and look that up. But it had to do with either her appearance or something. Racist remark. Okay?
Oh,
Now,
man.
in an interview, she says that the racist remark, Valerie Jarrett is the person she was made the tweet about. So people are in one interview. She says that it was a joke. Like she says, it was a joke. Calm down, it was a joke. And then in another interview, she says it was a comment on her appearance, the way that she, I think people were trying to, they had side-by-side pictures of someone from Planet of the Apes, an actor from Planet of the Apes, and their haircut, and hers. But it come out in, the podcast with Joe Rogan and other places that she believed that it was something that was said under the influence of alcohol and Ambien. So, whatever happened, she ain't Roseanne no more. In fact, it's kind of a shitty way they killed her off. They killed her off in the form of an opiate overdose, which she actually had problems, I believe, with opiates in her past, which is kind of fucked up.
Wow, so that's how the show's continuing on. Oh, right. So have they already aired the one where they killed her off?
No, they just revealed how they're going to kill her off, I believe. I don't watch a lot of TV.
I don't either.
But I will say that I would be interested to see how the ratings were after she left, because a lot of people watched it for Roseanne Barr and not for,
John Goodman.
I'm a John Goodman fan.
I love John Goodman. The Big Lebowski.
And what's her name? The girl who plays Sarah, that is her name, Sarah Gilbert. The girl who played Darlene. Every kid when I was growing up had a crush on her, and then they saw her open her mouth on the talk, and then things changed. But
that was terrible, man. She just
when you see actors, right, and you see them like on the screen, and they play a role and they play it really well, and then they open their mouth as a person, and your dreams are destroyed.
What about
because you could never be with that person.
No, what about
ever?
Oh, dude, Alyssa Milano.
Huh?
Alyssa Milano, right?
I don't follow too much of her. I don't know what her.
Wasn't she the one that was on like that? What was the show? Charmed.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
And she was on Who's the Boss originally.
Right.
I think that I don't know what she said, but supposedly there's some kind of the same feelings for her as there are for what you just said, for just being, I don't know, things she said.
And that kind of brings it back. Podcast is something where we can kind of bring up these subjects, and it's part of entertainment for you guys. But if you're somebody like Eminem, who decides to make his entire show about it, or Kanye West, who decides to just walk out and cancel shows because you want to make a statement, people don't go to your concerts to hear that. People go to your concerts to escape what's going on in real life.
Exactly.
Around the world. They escape their stress from their jobs or what somebody's posted on Facebook, because people just love to argue on Facebook. Me.
Dude, do you
by
like
the way,
Mark
we can
Dice?
talk a little bit about...
You can.
Huh?
Do you like Mark Dice?
Mark Dice?
Yes. You don't know who he is? Oh, his
You
YouTube.
act like it's such a big shock that I don't know who people are.
Dude,
This is going to become a running joke of the
dude,
podcast.
dude, his YouTube channel is absolutely now.
Okay.
Again, he he just basically tells the truth with all. Yeah, look up Mark Dice. Do you see him? Well, YouTube didn't like him so much that they demonetized him
Okay.
because he's anti-liberal.
Well, they're a private company.
Yeah, they can do whatever they want to
Yeah. So
because they're controlled by the elite, so it doesn't really matter.
it's not even that. It's like here's the argument that I have, right? And same thing for Alex Jones. Like they censored him, right? Took him off of YouTube. Blah blah blah. So YouTube is a private company. They don't answer to you unless you stop watching by the droves and they lose, 1 million concurrent users in a day or 2 million or 12 million or whatever. They don't care what you think.
Nope.
And that's okay. There are companies like that in this world that need to exist. They offer service, which is you as the person can upload a video, potentially get monetized, right? Because their advertisers like what you do or don't like or whatever. Or they don't like it or because there are people who have polarizing personalities like iDubbbz and stuff, and they still get a lot of sponsorship deals, and he gets still a crap ton of views on YouTube, and he's not pulled off. But at the end of the day, it's YouTube's decision whether or not to demonetize you, to pull you off their platform, or anything else. The problem that I have with one person pulling it off, and then kind of like the Alex Jones thing, the one problem that I had with the Alex Jones things is not only did they pull him off of YouTube, they deactivated his Twitter, they got him off Facebook. So all the places where he had massive fan bases, if he didn't have a website, he'd be screwed. Now, what's next? Do you think GoDaddy or whoever he's using for his shout out to GoDaddy, please sponsor us. If you think GoDaddy is using their power to pull his website off the internet, I mean, wherever his website hosting company is, they could do that and completely destroy him. That is one of the issues with the internet age and making your living on the internet, or making your living solely on the internet. These Instagram people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars from Instagram. Instagram shuts down. They go to a new platform. They don't tick all the same boxes. And then they gone. Just like most of the Vine people. I mean, you remember when Vine shut down? Like, everybody was like, oh, why'd Vine shut down? Because it wasn't a monetizable platform it wasn't monetized very well. And then these Vine stars who were big on Vine, some of them came over into other platforms and made success and all that stuff, like Liza Koshy and I know Chris D'Elia was already killing it. But, when it comes down to it, it's like they're out of work now. They got to go. They got to sell their houses.
Good job.
Yeah, go get a job. They got to shack up with their parents. Say, Mom, Dad, I used to be a star. I used to make people laugh. Doing like 6-second fart skits. And now I'm living back home in the basement. That's a reality. And that's why it's important to diversify your income.
Oh.
That's my little life lesson. But my opinion is like, hey, they had the right to do it. I mean, what do you guys think, though? Everybody in the comment section below, go ahead and let us know. What are your opinions on that? Please keep fighting to a minimum.
How about this? I got something for you. So how about the fact that take the top-rated sports fitness or whatever podcast show YouTube channel,
Hatecast,
even
right?
Hatecast, exactly, or even throw in like Joe Rogan on YouTube and stuff.
No, it's a Hatecast. So I mean,
it's a Hatecast.
Yeah.
But dude, you know what trumps that by a lot?
Nothing trumps that because the Hatecast is going to live forever. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about viewers.
Oh,
you know what trumps that by viewers and subscribers? Right. Little kids opening toys and playing with them. I'm dead serious. Yeah.
There is, the internet. We've talked about this before, but the internet is a dangerous place. So the internet kind of gave a little spot for all the townspeople to go to kind of be into whatever they're into. And I guess if that's the niche that they found, more power to them. Although they're going to grow up eventually.
Dude. So apparently, breaking news: investigators are focusing on Florida as a possible source of some of the suspicious packages sent to prominent Trump critics.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Florida?
Did you like how they said Trump critics there? I told you they were going to do that. I can't make this up, man. I called it. I called it like 15 minutes ago that they were going to blame it on the
Okay.
Republicans.
Oh, well, that's crazy. So,
Oh my gosh.
Florida.
Oh, it's Florida. And Florida is predominantly what, a red state, right? Oh man. It didn't come from New York City. Predominantly blue.
It'd be okay.
Hey, I got a question. So if am I racist if I say you're blue, man, you're blue?
No. You're just Captain Obvious. Blue shirt. But yeah, no, I'm an independent too, so before people
Thank goodness, man. Thank goodness. Yes, I'm independent. Oh my gosh. I'm just observing the craziness.
You know, free thought is one of the best things that we have available. Freedom of thought, freedom of expression, all that other stuff that we seem to take for granted every time we think that our rights are being violated by someone's Facebook post. So, I'd like to go over something here in a minute, but let me finish this. So,
Let you
next
finish
time
this.
you guys have a chance, I'm suggesting that. Hey there.
It's an apple. Remember we talked about apples?
So next time you guys have a chance, I want everyone here to kind of pick up something that they identify as when it comes to politics. Just pick either you're conservative, you're Republican, you're Democrat. I want you to look up all the different little sects of the different kinds of Democrat, the different kinds of conservative, the different kinds, and see if any one of those line up with 100% of your ideals. Chances are, you're going to look at the computer screen, you're going to imitate me by saying, nah, man, nah. Because everybody thinks differently than the next person. And in this country, I'd like us to come to a place where we can openly discuss ideas instead of telling each other to go fucking die on Facebook and how we're so bad and how we're so unhealthy, and let's just jump into it. So on our Facebook group,
dude. Well, one more thing before we go there. You know what's funny? People will always come at you on like a social media platform or Facebook and stuff, but then when you tell them like, okay, well, let's go meet and talk this out 1-to-1 and squash it. Zip.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that.
Well, it's not even that. It's so you know the post I'm talking about, right? The one that was just blew up on our secret Facebook group that everybody should join.
That was absolutely hilarious. I mean, I know what the guy was trying to convey, but he just did not do a good job of doing it.
What was he trying to convey?
He was trying to convey that if you eat an excessive amount of, protein and stuff like that, it can get converted over into glucose and stuff like that. And when he was saying
gluconeogenesis.
Yes, thank you, Bryce. And when he was talking about eating, a higher starch, I don't think he meant starch. Because when he started describing the foods, they weren't really starch foods. They were more like vegetables. Like that's not a starch, dude.
Now I looked it up and I gave him a few points to refute what he was saying, and I kind of tried to come to a middle ground with him, and saying that something that we can all agree on is whole foods are awesome. Mm-hmm. Because he was citing some information from a book by a MD that was pushing. He was an advocate for a low protein, high starch, low fat diet, right?
Hey, Bryce, hold on. You said MD? Because, I mean, oh my God, doctors know everything.
The guys
I mean,
who aren't trained in nutrition, yeah.
Oh my God, they're always right about everything. I mean, we should just lay our life. He's a doctor? Oh my God. Oh, he made a mistake, but then he said he was sorry about it and he learned. Oh, well then it's fine. Oh, because they're always right.
It's almost like they've done that with eggs before.
Eggs are the best food you can eat.
No, man, they're going to raise your cholesterol 700,000 points, and then you're going to die, and then you're going to, like, fucking have plaque in your fucking veins, and you're going to fucking start ejaculating purple.
That's pretty amazing. And I eat 6 eggs a day, and my total cholesterol is 121.
Going to have to start calling you Grape Ape. Sorry.
Man, I'm going to die now, man. Like 121.
So, yeah, this individual in our Facebook group. Now, if anyone's interested, because I'm pretty sure that this guy doesn't watch the Hatecast, otherwise he'd know our views and have some science-based opinions on stuff. You can go ahead and find the... I'll link the Facebook group in the comment or in the description box. You guys can go ahead and look, and we can kind of get into it. You can also go ahead and try and talk over your viewpoints with him, as I tried to do. So why don't you go ahead and explain what you? I'll go actually.
Yeah.
This has got me so frazzled. So,
it was and Bryce Frazzled is amazing.
His argument is that when you're a baby, stop laughing.
Sorry.
You're going to do a spit take.
Okay, go on. I'm good. Good.
When you're fucking goo goo gaga and fucking sitting there suckling on your mom's titties, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your growth period. And because of that, you just need 5% protein in your diet because the titty milk.
Dude, the first thing that comes out, the most important thing is colostrum.
Point of it is like that's kind of just fucking God, you're a fucking hormonal storm, okay? The most anabolic you'll ever be is when you're a fucking baby. Do you realize that you could take all the fucking gear in the world and you would not go through the same physiological changes as you would when you were a fucking infant? That is why everything works. Everything. Everything that you ever imagined, everything that you ever wanted, bone growth,
Everything.
muscle mass growth,
Everything.
organ growth.
Everything.
Sorry. So, everything. Penis growth. Something we're still... If they could put that in a fucking pill, we would be out of business. I mean, everything that you would imagine that you would want happens when you're a child. Yes, you consume breast milk. Some people, like myself, poor adopted fuck, I consume formula. So, I mean, like, fucking... And I'm 6'5".
What happened there, dude?
Just, you know what? Everything works so well when you're in that fucking growth phase of you being a fucking... See, I'm fucking up in speech. This affects me so much. When you're in that growth phase as a baby, I was eating soy. Do you realize what's in formula back then? In the 90s?
It was soy. It was
soy. It fucking worked. I'm fucking 6'5". I'm fucking muscular shit. It's like, it must be soy. Nah,
soy.
We're gonna sell a fucking hat. It says fuck soy on it because fuck soy. Do you realize the amount of... Okay, you're gonna need to fucking take over. This bullshit.
Yeah, that guy's really kind of got you frazzled, you know.
I can't even.
He's a little misguided. He was trying to say, yeah, 5% protein, when we all know that if you want to get lean, that you eat protein and fats. And then I made an interesting comment that he did not reply on.
That protein bottle's empty back there.
I know, because you, exactly, you're a big dude. And remember the comment, I made an interesting comment and he didn't respond to this. My comment was when in evolution, if you believe in that,
We
um,
look forward to your letters.
what are yours? The biggest change that occurred to humans because of their increased brain size was when fats and protein were abundant and introduced into the diets. And then let's take it another step
You're
further.
blowing my mind, man.
I can't believe it. You mean DHA? One of the fats makes up 70% of adult brain tissue and 80% of children brain. What? And there's studies done that if you give mothers, expecting mothers in the third trimester and on, 1,000 milligrams of DHA a day, and then give the kids DHA, that their IQ points will increase by 10 points. Are you kidding me?
We did not choreograph that. Go ahead.
It must. We did a good job. It must be carbs then. Not at all.
So, I would also like to bring up something that he did bring up. He brought up ancient civilizations as a reference as to what you should eat. First of all, even as far back as 10 generations, your bone density is vastly different than that of your ancestors. Bone density, the stuff that...
Bones.
But that's just your muscles. That's the stuff that... I mean, I'm 6'5". I have more bone density than somebody at 5'10". I will have more, on average, muscle mass than somebody who's 5'10", because I have more bone density because I have more bone.
And you have more muscles to help to make the bones move.
So...
They don't live on their own.
He mentioned, and I swear to all that is holy, if you mention the fucking Aztecs or the fucking Mayans as an example of what to do in society, you need your fucking head examined.
You do.
First of all, the Aztecs had an average life expectancy of 45. They could have, okay. Oh, they could have benefited a little bit from some fucking antibiotics. They could have benefited from some Tylenol. They could have benefited from some anything.
Soap.
Speaking of staph infections,
it's amazing.
God, and we'll cover that here later.
Oh,
I'm gonna
by the way,
fucking rant about fucking cleaning your gym.
So I've got another thing for you. So let's look at the eating habits of Americans. Okay.
Okay.
And let's go back to the slavery time, and I'm not racist, but we're talking about slavery. Anyways, the reason why I bring it up is the diet was predominantly meat.
Right.
Okay. And even like slaves themselves were allotted 100 pounds of meat a year. Okay? Do you know what the average American eats per year now? Usually it's between like 50 to 70. And we're fatter now than we were then?
You know, I have my own opinions on that, because even if you go as far back as, again, I like to bring up 10 generations because that is pretty far away.
It is.
I mean, that's, on average 60 years, let's just fucking say, because average life
600
expectancy
years.
has gone up. So
Yeah,
600
so
years.
600 years. Maybe 500 because people didn't have you when you were like, you didn't have kids when you were 60. You had kids when you were like 20. And
Hell
let's do like 10
I'm 25,
generations.
I have 7 kids. Hell yeah.
7 kids. I would say do 30.
3 illegitimate. Go ahead.
So let's say 10 generations, 30, so probably about 300 years would probably be more accurate.
That's fair. 300 years. That would make this 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
About. So, you get any civilization back then that was actually thriving and not just completely just bleh. Their diet was predominantly meat. And you know what? I mean, when the introduction of root vegetables and stuff like that happened for society as a whole, people started to become a little bit healthier. So I will admit, vegetables make you healthier. That's pretty good. But at the same time, as you go further down, and you look at the introduction of sugar, mass introduction of sugar. And I'm not talking about natural sugar. I'm not talking about you and sitting there probably watching this, making juicing or fucking eating apples, Ed.
Hey, apples make you stronger, bro.
Make you more fatigue resistant too. So
exactly.
And
there's so much fiber, dude. I mean,
hell yeah, you'd be shitting good. So like you have
in the neighborhood,
you have a good example if you look at history as to where we went wrong. Right? Jobs are less physical.
Yep.
Life is less physical. People have this almost entitlement to like 12 hours of leisure time when they come home.
They
come home, they say, I've been on my feet all day. Even though they're working a desk job.
Cry me a river.
And then they say, I gotta relax. I'm so stressed.
I don't want to cry
mind you, this is also one of the most stressful times.
So they cried enough.
Sir. Almost one of the most stressful times humans have also existed. I'm sure that has something to do with it. But at the same time, we have more sources of readily available dopamine. I mean, you have that. You have a computer I'm talking to you guys on. You have a good conversation with somebody thousands of miles away. Hundreds of miles. You have music. You have all this other stuff. It's a stress release that you're constantly striving for.
Dopamine junkies.
What I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is you can't just blame it on the food. And you also can't say one diet or one way of living, including high protein, is a way to get around that. Because some people need more carbs and some people need less. The problem lies within the gen pop. So I would consider myself gen pop. I would consider myself average genetics, average everything, right?
Except you're 6'5", bro.
Let's not tell anybody. So,
no.
Hold on.
That's better.
So average everything. And with average comes,
responsibility?
a good sample size, a good sample size of what you should do. If so average people generally do better on higher protein, lower carb, moderate to high fats. So that's our recommendation because Philly's not listening. Sean Roden's not listening. But if you are, what's up?
Yeah, and you're like Olympia, like Jim Pat.
We appreciate you. Keep listening, but we're just saying, the likelihood of you listening to this, unless somebody were to link them about 100 times or tag them about 100 times in their story about them listening to the Hatecast and then saying at Sean Roden on their Instagram, then he sees that and he's like, oh, these guys are talking about me. It's like, maybe I should look at this. And then they just click on that, and then he goes, hey, these guys are amazing, and they have great personalities. Their face can stop a clock, but, it's the personality that counts. Go ahead and give them a listen. Then he links it on his Instagram.
Speak for yourself.
True. And then he gives it a listen, and then he says, hey, if you'd like to listen to these guys, I'm listening to these guys, you can listen to these guys, we should all listen to these guys, and then he links it on his Instagram, and then we're one step closer to earning an actual paycheck. So, when it comes down to it, it's like we only suggest what works for the gen pop. Even Jamie, when he was writing about his Apex Predator diet, is basically a cyclical keto diet. And when it comes down to it, that's what works for most people.
It does, and I like what you said there because that is what I like to preach to people, is that you do keto for a little bit, then you stop doing keto for a little bit, then you do keto for a little bit, and then you shake it all about. And you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around and you've lost 5 to 10 pounds.
Hell yeah. And I've actually been thinking about buying a blood glucose monitor and kind of
You
testing my
should
fasting blood
do
glucose.
it. Do it.
Doing
Do
cyclical
it.
keto. One thing that I can say is lower blood sugar is probably a good thing for long-term health.
I mean, probably good for your organs. Just
Not
maybe.
hypoglycemic, but lower. Not
Yeah.
not I'm dying, but a little bit on the lower end. Lower carbohydrate intake. Sugar is killing people. We
Not
know
like.
that.
Yeah. It is. Yep. Yep.
We also know that things like soy is probably not good for you.
Nope.
These are the things we suggest. Now, the foods that he was listing, like oatmeal, I'm a fan of, right?
Oatmeal's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad.
Vegetables, they
Not
got
bad.
a good,
Yeah.
for me. What else was he listing? Oh,
That was
peas and
yeah. Like there was no starches. He said I high starch, but yet there weren't any starches, which was
there
just
were some starches.
not that
Potatoes.
much. I mean,
Potatoes.
yeah, but there's certain things you can do to potatoes to make them basically non-impactful. But we will discuss that another
Can we discuss
time.
French fries? Because they're
They're amazing. Are they really from France?
no, but something I did want to mention in this Hatecast is the French Spider-Man apparently climbed a 230-foot skyscraper. So
Why? Just so he could be insta famous?
I don't know, but it worked. I'll link it in the description box below. But um, but
We're just enablers. We're enablers.
we
That's all we
are.
are.
We are.
Society is
Just like if somebody
enabling.
does anything horrible, we're gonna say their name and make them more famous because
We're enablers.
yeah. But one thing we won't enable is misinformation, and I
Nope.
feel like when he was trying to get across a point. Oh, by the way, this MD that he keeps on quoting suggests a vegan diet too, which I'm not really a fan of. I don't think. I know there are people that do it. Okay, canines, yeah. Hell yeah. I would show my teeth, but my teeth are incredibly bad.
Those canines
Um,
are for just tearing apart leaves. Arrgh.
yeah. So, when it comes down to it, and even most mammals have a way of getting their amino acids. Like, something I didn't know is cows who eat predominantly grass, right? Also intake larvae and stuff like that from the ground. They just kind of scoop it up with their tongue and then they just shit it out the other end, right? But they have an enzyme that converts cellulose, which is the fiber found in grass, into amino acids.
Just like
So,
horses.
just like horses and just like hippos.
Dude, look how jacked horses are, bro.
Yeah, I know. They're
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 like
amazing.
they're jacked and they're hung.
They also have a penis bone. So, um,
Hung like a horse.
yeah, but it's unfair because they have a bone there. It's not fair.
That's weird.
Humans used to have a penis bone. Yeah, ancient humans used to have a penis bone. We just evolved past it. We're like, do we need it?
We don't need it.
Nah, they're not gonna run from us now. There were people getting Me Too'd a long time ago.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, we look forward to your
Interesting.
letters off that one.
That's 100% you, bro. Wow.
I'll just leave that in. But
That's
yeah,
what she said.
just kind of bring it back all around. Low carb, or I'm sorry, high carbohydrate, low fat, low protein diet is not, in our opinion, the way to go. If it
No.
works for you, of course, keep doing it.
Keep doing
I
it.
saw the guy had some muscle. Obviously, he lifts. Obviously, he's deep in the research of the 1970s. That's when this book came out. But I just wouldn't suggest it for Gen Pop. Just like vegan diets, there are people that succeed on vegan diets. I'm sure you've seen it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen those
Right,
vegan
I have.
bodybuilders,
Yeah,
you know.
but that's just not for me. I'm sorry.
But man, let me tell you something. Like, we're talking natural, whole foods vegan diet. There's not a one. The reason being is because all of the vegan bodybuilders pretty much get their protein from protein powders. That's
Dude, they're
the
not really
only way
vegan
they can
then.
get in.
That's not vegan.
Yes, it is because it's made with pea protein powder or something like that, or brown rice or something like that.
Pea protein powder?
Yeah. So they get their protein in, but they're going in a roundabout way of doing it, and that's not completely vegan. I will say this too: there were vegans upset that banknotes use animal parts, and I'm sitting here like, well, if we're gonna get upset about that, do you live in a house? Because there's a lot of animal products and building materials. Glue is a bitch. Do you like your cell phone? Glue. Uh, that would be kind of an interesting business venture. Finding a vegan gadget.
Glue. A vegan glue.
No, just make everything 100% vegan.
Ooh.
Like have a vegan phone that costs $17,000.
It would have to cost 17,000, and it'd be really big too, probably.
Even if you use like resin, I just don't know. Like
It gets hot and it comes apart.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's gonna bother me now.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, vegan diets aren't the way to go. Low carb, or I'm sorry, high carb, low protein, all that stuff. What would be the optimum way of eating in your opinion?
Definitely getting. Well, everybody's different, of course, but if you're an athlete, um, I definitely think that you do need some carbs. You know, you
Right.
just you do. Um, but I prefer higher protein, higher fats, and then healthy carbs like your vegetables,
Right.
apples, you know,
No Captain Crunch.
uh, every day, bro. Captain Crunch sandwiches. Actually, Dorito sandwiches with peanut butter.
Hey, you just made my eyes light up.
I know, bro.
Holy, mind-blowingly good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I used to do peanut. This is back when I was bigger, right? I used to do peanut butter jelly and then put Captain Crunch in the middle. Um,
Yep. I never liked jelly, dude. Never was a
what
big fan.
is that wrong though?
Oh, by
No.
the way, something funny too? So when I was getting at the pharmacy picking up a prescription, I was talking to this older lady while I was waiting for it to be filled.
Hmm.
And there's another lady that was sitting by too with purple hair, both really nice people. And then I brought up the fact that my son doesn't like candy, and they were blown aback as most people are. And I'm like, I didn't put that upon him. He just doesn't like candy. The only thing he eats. Oh well, he's changed it. He likes lollipops, but he'll only lick it like one or two times, and then he's done with it. And he likes the little Mott's like chewable gummy whatever things
Right,
they
right.
are.
Mott's for tots. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
Monster Tots. And so they're like, "Oh, that's good." And we ended up started talking about, you know, diets and what I ate. And I said, "Well, I basically just eat, protein, meat, you know, healthy carbs and fats. And I don't." And she said, "Well, you don't eat jelly?" And I was like, "Nope." And I don't eat bread either. Or sugar. And then the other lady goes, "Oh, you're keto." And I'm like, "Keto's made it mainstream now.
Yeah,
Keto has
yeah.
replaced low carb." I'm like,
Or Atkins.
"No." I'm like, "Oh my goodness." I was like, "You know the keto word? What?
Yeah.
No, I'm not keto, but
Yeah, no, and
I couldn't
it's
believe
it's
it."
it's kind of amazing when something like that reaches mainstream.
I
I
know.
it's probably a good thing. I'll say that. I mean, I know for some people like there's a type of diabetic, type 1, type 2, I can't for the life of me. I think it's type 1, they'll go into ketoacidosis and they'll
Yeah,
die.
type one. Type
Okay.
one.
Yeah. But like keto has helped a lot of people. Again, I'm also inclined to agree with Ed when it comes to carbohydrate intake in athletes. Depending on your sport. Now, if you are a fatty 2 by 4 can't fit through the powerlifting door, you can get away with no carbs. There are powerlifters that use low carb diets. They freaking hit records and they do things, and we talked to one. His name is Jamie Lewis. But for people doing like general physical stuff, like doing your weightlifting and then going on like sprints or something like that, I'm a guy who likes to be athletic and aesthetic. I like to have athletic ability also be intimidating to boys who try and date my daughter. So, yeah. No, I'm the type to like cry, but when it comes down to it, I'm a fan of that type of training, and for that type of training, sometimes a higher carb intake is needed. Where should you land? That's something we can discuss. Where do you think is an appropriate carbohydrate intake, and would you utilize that much carbs on your days where you don't go to the gym?
Less carbs on days that you don't train, and honestly, the way I eat, I'm almost low carb, and I'm not trying to be.
Yeah.
But that's just, and I feel great, and I feel fine, and on days I don't train, then I'll obviously eat less, but, I'm one of those guys that I've got a little bit of genetics behind me, above average genetics, and so I can gain muscle without having to force feed myself 6,000 calories a day.
Yeah. No, and I get that. I mean, there are some people in this world who just look at weights and grow.
Sorry, I can't. I don't get me wrong. I don't have Phil Heath genetics. No. But I've got like a running back football player genetics.
Basically, you're one of those people that was going to be athletic in their life. It's just a thing you were going to do.
I couldn't help it.
Whether it's doing actual athletics or working at a steel mill or
yes,
making me feel insignificant about myself.
Yeah, I was the kid when we were like when we were young, we were building like forts and stuff. Like I was, picking up the logs that had fallen on the ground and like carrying them on my back and stuff. And the other kids were like, "Whoa, you're really strong!" And I'm like,
I was the director who sat on my ass.
No, I was the one that was like,
"We're gonna do it. I see.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it." No,
they used to straw sound.
Well, they used to say that I had.
Carry
ups.
on.
They're like ups. Do you young people use those words?
Ups? Not that I can remember.
Yeah, I think it was a little before your time. It was like a little bit like white men can't jump era,
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. So I had ups.
Okay.
I guess some people say springs.
Springs? Never heard that either. Wasn't into basketball. Wasn't into sports. Wasn't into basically anything. I am literally, I just fell into this. Do you understand?
I have a question. I got one question. Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
Yes.
The best basketball player of all time?
Of course I do. I grew up when he was popular.
You know where he went to college?
Yours?
He's from North Carolina. Did you know that?
I did not, but we found that out a couple of Hatecasts ago. I will say this. That man wants to do a Space Jams reboot.
Is he going to play himself?
I don't know. Like, they could do like, hey, I'm Michael Jordan. I had a kid. Here's my Hanes underwear. I don't know what they're going to do. Like
he doesn't really need the money. If you don't know, he's a billionaire.
Yeah, but I think, here's the thing though. I think there was enough people because the old Space Jam's website is up. It's still up, and it's still in its glorious, blinding 90s style flash animation self.
Dude, those shoes, the Space Jam shoes, were legit.
Yeah. But I think he found some new traffic when people started highlighting the fact that it's still up, and he's like, this could make a quick buck. Maybe. Or it could be he just likes Space Jams. I don't know.
Well,
what is going to happen.
Looney
Let's
Tunes
do it.
is kind of struggling right now. Like they don't really have that presence like they used to, you know?
Did you? Oh my God! I want your opinion on this. I want your opinion on this before we go
Yes.
any further.
Yes.
There's going to be a Scooby Doo reboot in 2019. I have to send you the picture of what the new people are.
Please send me a picture. Like, how am I going to see this thing?
I'll send it on Facebook. But yeah, they're doing a reboot, just like they're doing an Ed and Eddie reboot, which it's from the
Dude,
same.
that show caused me so much just headaches growing up. Ed and Eddie, because my name's
Yeah.
Ed, you know, and I hate the name Eddie. Like, don't call me Eddie. It's no. Like
Yeah,
I
but how many
had
times? You know what? Actually, how many times do you get that though?
Eddie.
Yeah.
No one calls me Eddie. One of my coaches did, and I was like, and his like called me Eddie, and I was like, yeah, no, you know. And then, well, the high school was just my last name. I was like, no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It wasn't the new cat. It was that they were rebooting all these different '90s cartoons.
So there's no picture.
There is a picture, but
Do you know who played the original Scooby Doo and Shaggy?
no, I do not.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Oh.
Jinkies!
You didn't know that guy?
Oh my
American
God,
Top
I'm
40?
sorry for everybody that heard that. It opened up a cancerous YouTube video because, oh my God, every YouTuber sounds like this. Hey guys. Fucking hate that shit.
What, do they sound like Casey Kasem?
No. Alright, no
You
more
don't even
looking
know
that
what I'm
up. I'll
talking
show
about?
you later.
The American
But,
Top 40? This is Casey Kasem. Keep reaching for the stars. Bryce, have you watched Big Trouble in Little China yet? You know what old Jack
oh
Bauer
shit.
says?
God damn it.
Old Jack Bauer says that you need to watch Big Trouble in Little China.
We'll do next time.
David Lopan, I mean, oh my
I
God.
will do next time.
No, you won't.
I'm gonna do it.
Dude, I
Um,
mean, that is,
no,
it's a
no, I'm gonna do
classic.
it. I'm gonna,
It's, dude, just, it's less than 2 hours. I mean, it's amazing. I can't believe it. You'll just love it, man. Jack
sir,
Bauer, Kurt Russell's greatest role ever.
sir,
And he's the guy that was in the new Fast and the Furious movies as a special agent. You know, Kurt Russell.
sir.
You know who he is. He used to.
I know who Kurt Russell is,
Okay.
but
Well, this is
sir,
his best role ever. I mean, they're talking about rebooting it with The Rock,
sir.
they're not going to reboot it. They're just going to make like a part two or something.
I feel so bad because I've got. Okay, do you know what I did for the last couple of days, for like this whole week? So
No.
I had this ceiling fan that drove me insane. Okay, now look,
Did you
guys,
shoot it?
no. I wanted to. So there was at one point where I was thinking, this would look great on the inside of my wall. I was just going to take the ceiling fan out of the little fucking ball socket and just chunk it at the wall. I was frustrated. So when you get a new house, everybody, you inherit the problems of the previous owners. And something that they did is they decided to wire their new ceiling fan special. So when the ceiling fan comes with instructions to put it up, you have the wire, and then you put the wire nuts on, or the caps, as my wife says, and she's wrong, or wire nuts. So when you put the wire nut on, then you... Shut up.
Caps.
It's very disrespectful.
Caps.
So when you... It's very disrespectful that you interrupted the Hatecast, okay?
I'm so.
So, my wife's sitting right here. So,
I couldn't tell.
You put them on, and everything's supposed to, like, you're supposed to be like, let there be light, and you're supposed to flip on the breaker, everything's supposed to be fine. Not for 3 days. So, I went and got a voltage meter, I went and got a non-contact voltage thing. As you can tell, I'm not that handy with things. So come to find out, like, we had a guy come and inspect our furnace that we have because it's 18 years old, right? So we just want to make sure that we're okay for the winter, all that stuff, because we're actually expecting snow this year. So this motherfucker had electricity training and stuff. So he's basically an electrician. Those air conditioning, heating, and AC guys, they have a base level of electrician stuff that they do because they have to mess with that stuff. So I had him take a look at it. Turns out, fucking wired wrong. So for 3 days, I was sitting there like a fucking idiot, putting in a fucking ceiling fan. Now, mind you, I'm dieting, so I'm already fucking temper. Okay?
Can I ask you a question? One question?
Yes.
So you didn't think
That was your one question.
Well, let me ask you
Go
two
ahead.
questions. So you didn't think to switch the wires around and see if it worked that way?
He had to pull the wires out of the socket behind the light switch and rewire it.
Whoa, he did the actual. That's
And
not
then
too
when the
hard to
light
do.
came on, I just let down a single tear. And I grabbed my chest and like, you can rest now. And I just started to weep like a madman.
Like Seal.
It was insane. And I never want to go through that again. That's why I will hire people to come out to fix things at my fucking house because I am a failure. But I'm okay with that.
He's okay with it.
I just look pretty. I'm not functional.
But
But anyway, we were supposed to have a topic today, but I think we kind of leapfrogged over that.
we can do that for next time because it's like
Yeah.
already. Yeah, we've been rambling for a while now.
Yeah, it's fun though. That's what people like to watch. You know, we get requests all the time for these casual Friday or casual Sundays.
Really,
Call
people
up
like
here.
to hear us talk about stuff.
Yeah, just ramble. So now politics might get us into some hot waters, but please don't be offended. It does not reflect the viewpoints of Chaos and Pain LLC. If
I'm
you're going to come after
independent.
anybody, just
I'm
add us on
independent, just
Instagram,
observing.
argue with us there.
Yep.
We look forward to your letters. So, I think that does it for this Hatecast. One last thing I would like to close out. So, in our last video, there was a comment that I wasn't exactly sure how to address, but I know how to address it now. See,
What was the comment?
the comment for some reason was deleted. I didn't delete it. It's deleted. But it was a list of 10 things of why you were wrong.
Me?
Of why people should bulk. Hold on. I want to close out with this because
Okay, go on.
I will list the things and then you can go on a shiv rant.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay?
Okay, we'll do one at a time. Okay.
First of all, the first point that he made was in reference to our argument of, you know, you really shouldn't bulk because professionals are using stuff like insulin and testosterone and stuff like that, right? He said you can have the same effect from using carbs in your anabolic window.
That's not true at
Hold
all.
up. There's another point. There's more points. I don't remember all of them, so forgive me if I...
Okay, okay.
In person, if you can comment that again so that we can address it in the next one too. Because we really do like it when people, you know, interact with us.
Yeah.
So, the second one is Jamie had even mentioned that he regrets not going grug mode for to get 50 to 75 pounds onto his lifts when he was competing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That one I have a retort to, but you know, I'm actually gonna ask Jamie that when he comes back on. So the other thing is there were plenty of people who bulked really, really hard, like some old powerlifters, like I think Kaz did it. he dieted down and he had abs and everything was fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Eddie Hall went through a transformation as well recently that has the same thing happening. Hafthor Bjornsson, a strongman, the Mountain on Game of Thrones, probably know him, and if you don't, where have you been? So he has also gone through the same thing. He's cut down. So is Brian Shaw. He's started to cut down. I'm not sure exactly where he's at, but so all these people have cut down after bulking. So therefore, your argument's invalid.
Hold on. I mean, and all these people are drug free that you just named. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm gonna go to the rest of the points.
Okay.
Also, he argues that for strength sports, the bulk is necessary. And he argues that, I forget the other ones. I don't know why he deleted the comment. So, I swear I did not delete it. So,
Okay. I think he's kind of
let's
missing
go over those points.
All right. Well, he's missing the point entirely at first. I mean, the whole thing is that you can gain muscle without bulking because it takes time to gain muscle. Okay. And all those people that say it's hard. I even had a comment when the person wrote on the Facebook page. He said, bulking, and it's harder to gain muscle than it is to lose fat, and blah, 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 blah. And then I looked at his profile picture, and I was like, bro, like, you're not even, like, jacked. Like, you should be disqualified from even asking this question. I mean, not trying to call you out, but, like you got, like, love handles going on and stuff, and, like, I'm not trying to judge you, but, like, I look better than you, so, I mean, sorry, I'm not really going to count your opinion on anything because I look better than you. So anyways, and then all this other stuff that, yeah, drugs are the reason why people think that it's okay to bulk because all these people are using drugs. And when you use drugs, then you can do more calories because, average teenager has maybe 900 to 1200 levels as far as testosterone, where these athletes are pumping anywhere from 2 to 3,000. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what they're eating. Their muscle, they're growing 3 times faster than the average person, and you carry more water weight, which people think is also growth, which is it's not really. It's not. As far as powerlifting, and I guess you just didn't listen to me again because I never said that powerlifters shouldn't bulk, and I never said that powerlifters shouldn't carry some fat around. I think I actually said the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the reason is when you lift those kinds of heavy weights, and I know because I once did 535 pounds for a triple on the bench press 14 years ago. I don't talk about it because I can't do it now, but when people try to say stuff, I use it as a reference to why they're wrong. So yes, I had some extra weight, and the one lift that went down, the only lift that decreased when I started to get leaner was the bench press. I don't know why. It's just that's what happened, and I have long arms too, so I shouldn't be able to bench a lot, but I can.
Right.
So that myth is not true either. But
same here.
Yeah, I know, right? Basically, everything people just want to use the bulking, uh, you know, they want to use it as an excuse to eat and to eat what they want to eat and to get fat. I mean, they're like they don't want to show any discipline in how to structure an actual efficient diet. Okay, so let's just take away completely the superficial reasons why people want to bulk. What about the health reasons? People are killing themselves. And I don't mean they're killing themselves now. They're killing themselves like you're knocking 10, 20 years off your life. And if you don't believe me, I know plenty of people that have bulked and are dead now. Dropping like flies, man. Your body can't distinguish fat from muscle at a certain point. It's overweight. Your cardiovascular system, your heart just pumps out. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, there are those exceptions of those people that we call them like the farm boys, like yourself, that are just huge and big. But guess what? Your bodies were built that way from the day you were born.
Yeah, but even then, something that I always discuss with fellow tall guys, like, you sure you want to get into string sports? Because your life expectancy is already down. You're over 6 foot. It's just a fact. You're going to live into your 70s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not your 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's very unlikely. You don't see, and I'm trying to be nice with this, but you do not see people who are tall like I am in their 90s and hundreds. You just don't see it. You see
Nope.
people who are like 5'8" and under, who are in their 90s and hundreds.
Uh,
Because go ahead,
I know how to fix that problem.
be lean.
BPC 157.
Well, that is not something we will talk about in this episode, but we will talk about it in another episode. But it is just one of those things where, look, this whole not bulking thing is geared towards Gen Pop. It is
Yep.
not. It is geared towards wanting to look good naked. It is not geared towards
Yep.
strength sports. If you
No, it's
have
not.
to go through strength sports, you should be. If you're into strength sports, you should be more concentrating on the amount of weight lifted, your numbers that you need to hit, like for a powerlifting example, your weight class, your conditioning, or whatever, your strength specific activities.
Yep.
Body fat and muscle mass are kind of to a back seat unless that is the forefront
Yep.
of your sport.
Yep.
Because there are people who are sprinters who are carrying an extra 20 pounds. There are people who are sprinters who are carrying no extra fat. There are people who are doing the same thing that the other person is doing, but their body just reacts differently to the weight that they carry.
Yep.
And
Also,
go
can I
ahead.
clarify one more thing too? And when I'm saying bulking, I'm referring to these huge, massive weight gains. I'm not referring to gaining 5 or 10 pounds, eating a little extra calories to put some weight on for a short amount of time. That's not bulking.
And we're
Bulking,
absolutely not talking about these people who put on 20 pounds in their senior year of high school, because that's
no.
something you can do when you're under the age of 18.
Hey,
Like,
remember what did I do? 30 pounds in 3 years of muscle, pure
right.
muscle. 30
You can do that
pounds
when you're
of pure
younger.
muscle. Yes, you
This is
can.
just for Gen Pop.
Gen
These are
Pop.
for the people. These are for the people that are visiting our websites and not using mommy and daddy's credit card. You know what I mean? Um, I don't mean to put it bluntly, but you can get away with a lot when you're younger, and you can do a lot.
Hormones.
Yeah,
Hormones. And that's the reason why when you take drugs and hormones, it trumps no matter everything. It trumps your diet.
even breast
You,
milk.
even breast. You can give, that's probably what's going on with that guy. He's probably like, on 200 milligrams of Cypionate a week or something from his doctor. And then, of course, it
He
doesn't
could be
matter
in a
what he
country where
eats.
it's legal too. That's something
Yeah,
very Western ideal that gear is legal everywhere,
yeah.
or
But,
that gear is illegal
dude,
everywhere. It's not.
dude, if your hormone levels are up, you can pretty much eat like whatever I mean, don't overeat, but as long as you can get away with the whole like macro diets and all that stuff when you're on hormones. Your body works differently. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not saying go eat out like sugars and hamburgers and all this stuff because then what happens is you're gonna innately just get more calories than you need. You're not gonna even know it because you're eating those dense foods.
yeah.
But if you eat the same amount of calories that you're eating now and you're lean or somewhat lean, and you introduce 200 milligrams, small amount of like Cypionate from your doctor a week, you are going to gain minimum probably 10 pounds of muscle within 6 to 8 months.
Right. Yeah, no, and
Minimum.
it's a rapid change at first, and then it kind of slows down.
Yep.
So something else in regards to the powerlifters that are currently doing it, if you look at Eddie Hall as an example right now, the Beast, he looks amazing, all that stuff. His chest doesn't sit right on his body. That is from excessive
Mm.
weight and the stretching of the skin. And
Yeah.
that is something,
Mm.
trust me, I mean, I was blessed with not much of that. I mean, I used to have a little bit of loose skin from my weight loss, and it was on my legs. Um,
That's lucky, dude.
But you don't want that because that is now cosmetic surgery that'll put you out of the
Yep.
gym.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to get it fixed, most people who do that just don't get it fixed. They
No,
just
they don't.
don't. It's just sitting there.
I had a
And
question. Can
yeah,
BP 157, BPC 157 help with that?
I'd have to do more research on it. I don't think so.
Because it's not really helping with the collagen production, you know. Well, I mean, technically, it kind of does help with collagen production. But then would red light therapy help with that as well too?
Red light therapy is one of the more interesting things, but I think all of that stuff needs to be done. Like if you're going to do any drug protocols to help with loose skin or any other protocols like moisturizers and stuff, one thing that I was really anal about when I lost weight was moisturizing my entire body whenever I got out of the shower
Lather it down.
every day, you know? So I didn't let my poor dietary choices stop me from getting vitamin E lotion and shea and cocoa butter, which, by the way, people with, I mean this in the nicest possible way, but ethnic skin use shea and cocoa butter stuff in order to prevent certain
Say it. Say
scaliness
it.
and stuff like
Say
that.
it. I know
Psoriasis.
what you. I know what you want. No, I know what you want to say.
Yeah, but I'm trying to be sensitive. I'm a sensitive man.
Dude,
So,
I was the one white guy like on the basketball team. Well, there's a
okay.
couple of us, but yeah.
But
So
and coconut oil is also another thing that you can use.
there's
It
yeah.
helps drastically. I cannot stress that enough. But you have to do it as you're losing the weight and not after the fact.
Hmm.
Because if you don't, it's almost like with skin specifically. If you don't give your skin a reason to say, "Hey, I got to snap back," or if you don't give it a little push, a little nudge, a little carrot to dangle in front of it, saying, "Hey, you should really improve your elasticity," it just ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
Same thing with red light therapy. Same thing with potential peptide usage and
Body
anything
protecting
else.
compound.
Huh?
Body protecting compound.
Right. I think that after the fact, its uses are severely. I mean, you're just pouring money, and I hate people see people do that, which is why there will be a sale at the beginning of this video. So, God, that was fucking lame.
It was
I'm
kind
just
of.
turning
But
into a dad joke.
yeah, that was pretty bad. But that
So,
commercial, like, hey guys, let's get on the dance floor. Let's get this started.
or when eBay tried to be hip with the cools, it's going to be an epic win. And it's like, no,
No,
stop.
no.
Immediately close any program that has a commercial like that off and never touch it again. But like I was saying, except for the
Yeah.
Hatecast. So
By the way, before we go, do you like Legos?
this is a setup.
No, it's not. I'm just asking.
I absolutely do. Yes.
Dude, have you seen the Harry Potter stuff?
Lego Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, my son's into that. So like Lego sets are ridiculous. Like Lego is like the Apple of toys. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so this Christmas, Santa is asking Santa for like, oh, 3 Lego sets, and
Well, you know what that means.
yeah,
He's got to be a good tyke. Santa may not deliver, and he's got
I
to
don't
make
do
Santa
that.
happy.
Like we don't do that Elf on the Shelf crap. Like, have you ever heard of Elf? You ever heard of Elf on the Shelf?
Nah. I'm so sheltered. I'm so sheltered. Ah, nah, nah.
No, no.
I
Basically, dude, listen to this, and then we need to get off this thing.
okay.
So, okay, Elf on the Shelf. You ready for this? It's this little elf that supposedly sits in your house, reports to Santa. It's a little doll, like a figurine, it's posable, and you put him every night when the kids go to sleep in different spots, and you tell them that he is watching them all the time to make sure that they are good, and he goes and reports to Santa every night, and then he goes and finds a new spot. How creepy is that?
Even if I was like 3, I could call bullshit on that.
Yeah, I think my son's too smart for that. He's like, that's just a toy. And I'd be
Although somebody we used to work with here at Chaos and Pain, we might have him on again and give him an interview. Matt Quinn, he actually posted on his Facebook how his kids were digging for buried treasure all the time in his backyard. So what he did was he just withdrew $60 in ones and like some fake costume jewelry and buried it. And now he's like dad of the year because they found the treasure.
You know what I would have done? You know what I would have done? I would have been like, I would have put it strategically in the places to be the same size as like a pool.
Yeah. You know what I would have done? I would have told him to stop that shit and been a bad dad.
I would have been too. Like, I don't want holes in my yard. Like, I have dogs that go out there, and like, no.
No, actually, that'd be pretty fun. I'd probably do the same thing. Hey, it's time to end this Hatecast. So, do you have any last words for the people?
Christmas is almost upon us,
and we're almost up to 2,000 subscribers. And when we get 2,000 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. So, guys, keep on sharing this on your Facebook, your Instagram, all that stuff. In the meantime, we will see you in the next one. Stole that from you.
You did steal it from me.
Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, to hear the lamentation of your women. That is good.
Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online, my city don't show me no loving, that's fine. Fuck local radio stations, I got more plays than all of these rappers combined. I'm going again, I've been going in, I'm fed up with so many things, I gotta just let it all out. I'm talking about the shit they've been talking about, telling me I should do this, telling me I should do that, telling me things about rap, talking the truth and that stab in my back, they will knock me off track. No, too many things have been building, been hard to deal with, I just been drinking. Remember my moves in the past, I'm wondering what was I thinking. Lately I'm living in fear, wondering what if the end is so near. All of this shit going on, the shootings are strong. One shot to the head and I'm gone, I'm losing control but I can't let it go, cause I'm trying to get more. And I've been in the moment, I've been in the zone, and I'm moving alone. I don't pick up the phone when my family call, I've been doing it wrong and I don't know what's happening. Trying to get what I just been imagining, getting close and I just been examining all of the fake shit the game has been packaging.
Power pleases you, Crom. So grant me one request. Grant me revenge. And if you do not listen, then the hell with you.
I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box, nobody telling me what I should rock, nobody telling me what I should drop, cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring, I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master, I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing things I wanna do when I want to. Everybody wanna get a win but they not do. Everybody wanna copy you but they not you. Everybody wanna be cool but they not new. Whoa, look how I go, gonna be a dentist, I still got the flow. Never gonna lose cause I'm still doing both. Never gonna lose cause I've been on the road. Come to your state and I'm killing the show. Know that I'm young and I still gotta grow. Know that I'm working the most, know I'm never gonna choke. And I'm looking back down on the people below.
I've been keeping real, I've been doing what I feel. I've been out here trying to kill every beat, I know I will. Everything I'm working on, every night another song. They've been quiet all along, they gon' notice when I'm gone.